I think, I'm being haunted by myself. Hey guys, I don't even know how to start this. I've been lurking here for a while, but I never thought I'd have something worth posting. Now, I'm not so sure. Something's happening to me, and I need anyone to tell me I'm not losing my mind. It started 3 days ago. Just a normal Friday night. I was home alone because my parents were out of town for the weekend, and my sister was staying at a friend's place. It was just me, a frozen pizza, and some crappy horror movies on Netflix. Around midnight, I started hearing noises upstairs like footsteps. At first, I thought it was just the house settling or something, but then I heard a door creak open. I froze. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my ears. I grabbed the nearest thing I could use as a weapon, a broomstick, because why not? And slowly made my way upstairs. Every light was off, but the hallway felt wrong. Like the air was heavier somehow. I checked every room, my parents' bedroom, my sister's room, even the bathroom, but nothing was out of place. When I got to my room, though, the door was wide open. I know I closed it earlier. My bed looked like someone had been sitting on it. The blanket was wrinkled in this perfect outline of a body, but no one was there. That's when I noticed something on my desk. A piece of paper folded neatly in half. It wasn't mine. I unfolded it with shaking hands and saw just 2 words scrawled in messy handwriting. Don't look. I noped out of there so fast and spent the rest of the night downstairs, with every light on. Nothing else happened that night, but the next morning, things got weirder. When I woke up on the couch, my phone had 17 missed calls, all from my number. At first, I thought it was some kind of glitch or prank, but when I listened to the voicemails, they were just static, except for the last one. On that one, there was breathing. My breathing, I don't know how to explain it, but you know what you sound like when you're out of breath? It was exactly like that, raspy and panicked, but it wasn't me who left it. It couldn't have been. The rest of the day felt off too. People were acting strange around me, avoiding eye contact or crossing the street when they saw me coming. Even my best friend Jake barely said 2 words to me when we ran into each other at the gas station. He just stared at me like he'd seen a ghost and muttered something about being late before bolting out the door. That night, it got worse. I woke up at 3:33 a.m., of course, to the sound of someone whispering my name. It sounded like it was coming from inside my closet. Every instinct told me not to open it, but then I remembered the note. Don't look. So, naturally, like an idiot in every horror story ever, I did look. There was nothing in there except for my clothes and shoes at first, but as I turned to close the door, something caught my eye, a shadow that didn't belong to anything in the room. It moved when I moved, but not quite right, like it was lagging behind me by half a second, and then it smiled. I slammed the closet door shut and didn't sleep for the rest of the night. The next morning, yesterday, things escalated even more. My reflection in the bathroom mirror wasn't sensing up with me anymore. It blinked when I didn't, smiled when my face stayed neutral. At one point, it mouthed something that looked like "help me," but its voice came from behind me instead of inside the mirror. I ran out of the house after that and drove around aimlessly for hours, until Jake called me out of nowhere. He sounded frantic and kept saying we needed to talk in person right away. When we met up at this diner we used to hang out at after school, he looked pale, like he hadn't slept in days. "You're not you," he said as soon as I sat down. "What are you talking about?" I asked him. "You've been texting me all week," he said. "But you're asterisk here, asterisk. How can you be here if you've been texting me from somewhere else?" I pulled up my phone to show him my messages, and that's when I saw them. Dozens of texts sent from my phone to Jake over the past 3 days that asterisk I didn't send. Asterisk, most of them were just random gibberish or single words like soon or watch. But one message stood out. It had been sent only an hour before we met up. Don't trust him. Jake swore up and down he hadn't sent anything back. But when he showed me his phone, there were replies from him that he didn't remember typing. "Who are you? What do you want? Leave us alone." We both agreed something seriously messed up was going on and decided to crash at his place, for safety in numbers. But now I'm not so sure that was a good idea, because right now, Jake is asleep on the couch across from me, but his phone just lit up with a new text message from my number dot, and all it says is, "Look behind you." Jake isn't breathing anymore, and his eyes, they're wide open and staring at me like he saw something horrible before he died. But here's the thing, there's no one else here except for us, and his phone just buzzed again with another message from asterisk me. Story number 3. It says, "You're next," but I'm holding my phone right now and it's dead. I'm not sure what to do. I'm still inside Jake's house, next to his corpse. If I go out, I will face the horrors of being imprisoned with charges of murder. With whatever did this to Jake out to get me, I can't fight back something I cannot see either. Please help. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you're enjoying it. Story number 2. My mom used to hide under my bed at night. I was born in 2000, grew up in a small town in northeast Ohio. We had one of those little ranch-style houses, all on one floor, 3 bedrooms. It was just me and my mom for most of my life. My dad left when I was a baby. She was a good mom, from what I remember. We didn't have much money, but she made sure I always had what I needed. She worked as a waitress at a restaurant in the center of town. Always tired, but always kind. We'd watch movies together at night. She'd tuck me in, kiss my forehead, and tell me she loved me. I felt safe except at bedtime. I must have been about 6 or 7 the first time I noticed it. One night after she tucked me in, I heard the floor creak after she turned off the light. Not out in the hall, right by my bed. I remember freezing, listening. Then I heard the sound of her breathing. Slow, heavy, right underneath me. I leaned over the edge and whispered, "Mom." She didn't answer. Just this soft little giggle. Not mean, not playful, just weird. I called for her louder. After a few seconds, she crawled out from under the bed like it was the most normal thing in the world, smiled at me and said, "Go to sleep, sweetheart. Mommy's here." Then she left the room. The next night, same thing. I heard her crawl under right after lights out. The soft thud of her knees and hands against the floorboards. The shift of the mattress as she settled in. Then the breathing. I was too little to really question it. I thought maybe it was just a game she liked to play. But the older I got, the more I realized it wasn't a game. It became a routine. She'd tuck me in like normal, turn off the light, and then she'd get under the bed. Every single night. And then she started doing little things. She would tap on the wood under my mattress in these odd rhythms. 3 taps, then 2, then 4. Sometimes it sounded almost like a song. Other times like random patterns. If I moved or sat up, she'd stop until I lay back down. A couple times, I caught her peeking out from the foot of the bed. I'd feel eyes on me and look down. And there she was. Her face just visible in the dark. One eye glinting in the faint light. From the hall, no expression, just watching. I stopped sleeping well. I'd lie stiff under the covers, too afraid to move or call for her. If I tried to leave the bed, she'd grab my ankle. Not hard, just enough to stop me. Then she'd giggle again. That same soft, weird giggle. I never told anyone. How do you explain something like that when you're a kid? I figured no one would believe me. It wasn't every night that something scary happened. Some nights she'd just lie there quietly. I'd hear her whispering to herself sometimes. Words I couldn't make out, soft and steady, like she was talking to someone I couldn't hear. This went on for years. During the day, she was totally normal. Made my lunch, helped with homework, joked with me, hugged me. I remember trying to work up the courage to ask her about it once when I was around 10. I said something dumb like, "Mom, why do you sleep under my bed?" She just blinked at me and smiled. "Oh buddy, I don't do that. You must be having silly dreams." But that night, she was there again, and the tapping was louder. By the time I was 9 or 10, I stopped looking under the bed. I started sleeping on the couch when I could get away with it. Eventually, when I turned 11, she told me I was old enough to have a lock on my door. She never came back into my room. I don't know why she did it. I don't know what changed. She passed away when I was 23. Cancer. In her last weeks, she was confused a lot of the time, drifting in and out. But one night, when I was sitting by her bed, she grabbed my wrist and said very clearly, "I kept you safe, you know. You were never alone at night." I still don't understand what she meant. Story number 3. There's someone under the bed pretending to be my daughter. Used to think kids just had wild imaginations. Monsters in the closet, shadows at the window, whispers in the dark. Normal fears, things you grow out of once the world shows you it's not all that magical or all that scary. I don't think that anymore. My daughter Eva was always a bright, happy child. A little shy, maybe, but deeply curious. She loved books, bugs, and building block towers taller than she was. At 6, she still needed a night light. Still gripped my hand a bit too tightly when we walked past the basement door. She was always afraid of the dark. But it started with whispers. One night last month, I heard her talking in her room. It was past 10. I figured she was reading out loud to her stuffed animals again. I pushed the door open. "Eva," I whispered. She turned toward me slowly. The way she moved didn't feel right. "I'm fine, Daddy," she said. Her voice was flat. "Wrong." I walked closer, a cold prickle crawling up my spine. "Who were you talking to?" She blinked. "No one." Her room was empty. I looked in the closet, under the bed. Nothing. She watched me the whole time. Not scared, not confused, just watching. Like she was observing me, studying me. I didn't sleep that night. The next week, things got worse. I heard footsteps running down the hallway in the middle of the night, light like a child's, but too fast, much too fast. And the house started to smell off, like damp earth, like something rotting behind the walls. One night, I found Eva sitting on the hallway floor at 3 a.m., whispering something over and over. I knelt beside her. "Sweetheart, what are you doing? Don't listen to her, Daddy. She lies." She looked up at me, her eyes wide and filled with tears. I scooped her up and carried her back to bed. She curled up tight, pulling the covers up to her chin, and whispered, "There's someone under the bed pretending to be me." My blood turned to ice. I dropped to my knees and looked. Nothing. The next morning, I found Eva at the breakfast table, humming to herself and smiling, like nothing had happened. I asked her about the night before. She looked confused. "What do you mean? I slept all night. You don't remember sitting in the hallway?" She shook her head. "Did I sleepwalk again? Maybe." She used to sleepwalk when she was younger. That night, I set up my old baby cam in her room, one with video, just in case. At 2:47 a.m., the baby cam clicked on. Motion. I looked at the screen. Eva sat up in bed. Her eyes were closed. She was whispering. And then she answered herself. Another voice, coming from somewhere nearby, low, guttural, like it was trying to sound like her, but couldn't quite get it right. I ran to her room, heart pounding. She was asleep. I checked under the bed. Still nothing. I told myself it was interference, a glitch in the audio. Maybe. But I kept the monitor on the next night, and the one after that. The whispers didn't stop. Then came the night everything changed. The storm was violent, thunder shaking the windows. Eva came into my room, trembling. "Daddy, please. She's back." I sat up fast. "Who, sweetheart?" "The one under the bed." She looked at me, her lips quivering. My skin crawled. "Okay," I said. "Let's go check." She gripped my hand so tightly it hurt. When we reached her room, I saw her, Eva, lying in bed, sleeping, but also, somehow, standing right beside me. I froze. "What the hell?" I whispered. Eva, the one holding my hand, squeezed tighter. "That's not me." And then the thing in the bed opened its eyes. It stared at me, unblinking, Then it smiled. A wide, unnatural smile to wide, stretching almost to its ears. The thing that looked like Eva sat up. It didn't speak out loud, but I heard it anyway. In my head, a voice like shattering glass and grinding teeth. You see me now. I grabbed the real Eva. God, I prayed she was the real one, and I ran as far as I could. We spent the rest of the night in a motel. The next morning, I went back to the house alone. It was empty. Eva's bed was made, her toys untouched. Her room smelled of dirt and mold. I checked the baby monitor footage. It showed me tucking her into bed, but on the video, I was smiling. That same to wide smile. I didn't know what to think. Was I losing my mind? I called a child psychologist. They recommended evaluations, play therapy, the usual routine. But I wasn't imagining what I saw. I know I wasn't. I took Eva to my sister's place to towns over. I didn't tell her everything, just said we were in trouble and needed somewhere to stay. For a few days, things were fine. Then Eva started to draw. Dozens of pictures, all of her bedroom, the same scene over and over. Her asleep, while another Eva crawled out from under the bed, with eyes black as coal and a mouth open to wide. One picture was different. One drawing showed me standing at the foot of her bed. Only, it wasn't me. My eyes were hollow, empty sockets, and something long and thin was crawling out of my mouth. I gently confronted her. Sweetheart, why are you drawing this? She didn't answer right away. Then she whispered, because she's coming. Who is? She looked at me. She says she's me, but she's not. She says she wants to be real. She says I took her place. I stared at her. Took her place? What does that mean? Ava's eyes filled with tears. She says she was the one who was supposed to be born, but that something went wrong. She says I'm the mistake. A chill ran through me. I went online. Deep forums, hidden threads, encrypted subreddits, places people only whisper about. That's where I found it. One post, just a single sentence, there's someone under the bed pretending to be me. And the comments below, don't let them touch you. They learn by watching. The first isn't always the real one. Never trust the one who smiles. I ran back to my sister's house. Eva was gone. My sister was lying in the hallway, still breathing but cold, like something had drained the life out of her. The front door was wide open. Wet footprints marked the wooden floor, small, bare. They went down the steps, out into the street, toward the woods. I ran. Branches scraped my face. The forest was too quiet. No wind, no insects, nothing. Then I saw her, a small figure, crouched, rocking back and forth. Eva. I shouted. She turned to me. She was crying. Daddy, she sobbed. Help me. She's going to take me. I ran to her and wrapped my arms around her. It's okay. I whispered. I've got you. You're safe. She looked up at me, and then her face changed. The tears stopped. Her mouth curled into a smile. To wide. From somewhere behind me, the real Eva screamed. I turned, just in time to see her crawling out from beneath the twisted roots of an old tree. Mud and dead leaves stuck to her skin. Daddy, she cried. That's not me. I looked between them. Two identical girls. One smiling, the other crying. One filthy and shaking, the other calm and grinning. I had seconds. I turned to the smiling one. What's your favorite bedtime story? I asked. She blinked. The one about the wolf. She smiled wider. Wrong, I said. Her answer couldn't be further from the truth. I turned and ran to the crying Eva. She threw her arms around me. The other one let out a shriek. High-pitched, inhuman. She dropped to all fours and sprinted back toward the roots. The ground shook. The tree opened like a mouth, and it swallowed her whole. We left that night. We burned the house down. Never looked back. I had no explanation for everything that had happened these past few weeks, and that scared me. After all of this, what mattered to me was that I had Eva by my side, safe and sound. *****. A few weeks passed, and everything returned to normal. Or at least that's how it seemed. I still couldn't stop thinking about everything that had happened. Sometimes Eva still wakes up screaming. She says someone's standing in the corner of her room. She says it's still watching. She says it's still learning. Tonight, I woke up in the middle of the night and heard Eva whispering to herself again. Only this time, she was smiling.